Hello viewers, hope you are doing great. In today's video we are going to see about flow control statements. These are basically the if statement, the for loop and the while loop. We will see each of these statements in detail. Stay tuned. We shall start with the if statement demo first. Here I am assigning value 10 to the variable a and value 15 to the variable b. So in order to do that in Python, I can just use a comma b equal to 10 comma 15. I can assign both the values to the variables right away in one single line instead of assigning it in separate lines. So this is the simplicity of Python, and after I have assigned these values, I am just using the if statement followed by a condition where I'm checking a greater than b, and then once the condition is done, I'll have to use a colon, and if the condition is true, then I'm printing the bigger number is a, and if the condition is not true, then it is handled in the else part where the syntax is else colon, and then I'm just printing the bigger number is and displaying the value b. So this is the simplest format of if and the else statement. And when I just run the statement or run this module, you can see the result in the console towards the right, and you can see that the big number is 15. I will comment these lines of code. Next, what I will do is I will get the inputs from the user and then use that input in a if and else if statement. So I will just create a variable a, and then I will get the input from the user. The input is basically a number, and so I will just typecast it into int, and then I will use the statement input, and I will just display this prompt for the user. Please enter a number. So here the prompt would be displayed when the program is executed, and it will wait for the user to give in a number, and that number would be basically typecasted into an integer. So once the number is received from the user and assigned to the variable a, I will use the if statement, and I am just checking if the variable a is less than 0. So if it is less than 0, then I am printing that the number entered is negative. And then here the next one is else if. So for else if, the syntax is elif, as you can see here, and then the condition. So else if a equal to 0, then I am printing that the number entered is 0, and if both the above conditions are not satisfied, that is if a is less than 0 is not satisfied, and if a is not a equal to 0 is not satisfied, then basically the number is positive. So I am including that in the print statement of the else condition. So when I run this program, and if I am just giving the input as 23, as you can see here, you can see that the number entered is positive, is the display message that we are getting. And if I'm going to rerun this program again, and if I'm going to say enter a negative number, maybe -2, then as you can see, the number entered is negative, is the output that we are getting, and that is based on the execution of the if and else if logic. Next, we can look into the for statement. For statement in Python need not necessarily loop on an integer like any other programming languages, but it can iterate on a, say, integer, as well as it can iterate on a string, it can iterate on a list, or it can iterate on a function like range. So we will just look into the range, and then we will look into, say, the list. So here I am just using for I in range 6. So here range specifies the value, the range of 6 specifies the value from 0 to 6, or 0 to 5, I'm sorry, 0 to 5. So when I just use this for, and then I end the for statement with this colon, and then I just use the print statement below the for statement. So basically, if you can see, the print statement is intended uh, towards the right. So that indicates that it belongs to the for statement. So when I print I, and then when I execute it, you can see the result as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is displayed in the console. And when I just use in the range, when I just use 3 comma 6, for example, and then when I just run it again, the print I, it displays 3 comma 4 comma 5. So the for statement takes the variable or the numbers available from the range function, and then iterates on top of it. Here is one another example. For loop can as well be iterated on list. So in order to show that, I am just clearing the existing piece of code, and then I am declaring a list called animals, and then I am assigning it elements by name cat, rat, pig, lion, tiger. And next I am just typing in the for loop, where for a in animals. So this indicate that the variable in the for loop is a, and the for loop is going to iterate on the list by name animals, and then I am using the colon, and then I am just typing the print statement below the for loop with the indentation towards the right, which means that this print statement would be included as part of for loop. So when I just put the print statement print a comma length of a, it should actually print the elements of the list and then the length of each elements. So when I execute it, I'm getting a syntax error. I think it's because I have not included the bracket in the print statement. So I'll just include the bracket as per the syntax of the print statement, and I'm just running again, and here as you can see, you see the elements, each elements in the animals and their length. In the next example, I am using the same list by name animals, and I am using the length of the list, and I am using that in the range function of the for loop. So the statement is for x in range length of animals, and below that I am using the print statement print x comma animals of x. So here the print statement is part of for loop because it's intended, and then when I run the code, you can see that the values of x is printed as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the corresponding elements within the list is printed. One another thing that could be done is to use the for loop to parse through the list and replace certain elements within the list. In order to demonstrate that, I am using the same list by name animals, and I am using the same for loop, but below the for loop, the print statement, I am just removing that, and I am just using the if condition, where I am checking if the length of individual elements within the animals list equal to 3, then I am assigning the value replaced to that particular element within the list. So here is how we code it, and once that is done, after the for loop is over, I am just using the print statement to print the animals list. And as you can see, cat, rat and pig, all these three elements in the list were having length 3, and so they are now replaced with the value replaced. Next, we will quickly check out the else statement. Else can be used along with the for loop and the while loop. Else, when it is used with the for loop, it gets executed when all the iterations of the for loop is exhausted, and in case of the while, it gets executed when the condition become false. So we are going to see the else along with the for loop, for which I am using for x in range 2, 10, and I am printing the value of x, and then I am using the else, where I am, as part of else, I am printing loop terminated. So when I run this piece of code, I'll get the values displayed from 2 through 9 because of the print x statement, and then after 9 is printed, the iteration is exhausted, and so the else loop is executed, and hence the print loop terminated statement is executed, and you can see the same in the display. Next, we'll quickly check a demo of break statement. Break statement is used to bring the control out of the particular looping statement in which it is present. In order to demonstrate that, I am using the same for loop, where for x in range 2, 10, and inside that for loop, I am checking if the value of x equal to 5. I am breaking out of the for loop using the break statement, and I am printing the x. So here, if the break statement is not present, this for loop should have printed the values from 2 through 9. But because the break statement is present, when the value of x comes to 5, then the control moves out of the for loop, and hence when I run this code, as you can see, the values 2, 3 and 4 alone is printed. Finally, let's get into the demo of while statement, wherein we can see how Fibonacci series can be generated. In order to do that, I am assigning values 0 and 1 to variables a and b respectively, and I am just using a single line statement to do that. A comma b equal to 0 comma 1, and I am using the while statement, and the condition being a less than 10. So as long as the condition is true, the statements within the while loop would be executed. And in the while loop, I am having two lines, one for to print the value of a, and another line is a comma b equal to b comma a plus b, wherein here a is assigned to b and b is assigned to the value a plus b. So when I run this code, you can see the values getting displayed, the values of a getting displayed, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8, which is basically a Fibonacci series until 10. So I hope this video was useful to you. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.